Welcome to another wet, miserable day in England. Today I'm going to go try 3 of the cheapest restaurant chains in the UK. Done a little bit of research into which ones they are. So we're going to one for breakfast, one for lunch, and one for dinner. First up is breakfast, and it's good old Wetherspoons. Now, I'm actually really quite impressed with this breakfast menu. So much on there is literally under £5. Apparently coffee is complete free refills. Now I go to a Spoons maybe once a year, twice a year for friends' birthdays, for cheap drinks and things like that. Rarely do I eat. I did have a scoop of ice cream the other day and that was like £1.50. I haven't had like a full meal or a breakfast here in pretty much forever. I think I'm gonna go for the muffin deal. What I love about Spoons as well is it's all order on the app. You don't have to interact with anyone, which is great. But you can even get an actual full breakfast for £2.99. In fact, their big breakfast, which surprises me, £6.59. So this is a really, really good start. I think I'm gonna go for standard sausage and egg McMuffin with a flat white and a hash brown, which is gonna cost me next to nothing. Every Spoons also comes with a unique carpet. We've got a lovely little red and cream swirl here. I feel like we need to work out which is the best of these 3 restaurants that we're going to overall. So I'm gonna rate it out of 5 in value for money and taste and service. Coffee cups arrived within 3.5 minutes, which is pretty darn good. Empty, but they have a machine up there that you use yourself to make them. So let's go take a look at it, shall we? And it's unlimited coffee, which I think is great. I was worried there was going to be no coffee coming out of there for a second because there was so much milk in this flat white. You know, it does actually taste like a flat white. It's not the strongest, it's not the best coffee, but what do you expect, eh? But unlimited of this, included within the muffin. That's pretty good. Orange juice taste test, 70p. It is a small glass of orange juice, but you get orange juice at a lot of restaurants, and for some reason they charge you about £4.50 just for a small glass of orange juice. So, for 70p, it's a nice orange juice. Oh yes please, thank you very much. "15 minutes altogether that took. Really good actually. That fruit is nice. Blueberries, strawberries, bananas, my 3 favourite fruits. The blueberries are a little bit mushy. Strawberries are great though. £2.99 that was, which for a bowl of fruit in a restaurant, I think that's pretty good. Bit of brown sauce, always a bit of brown sauce. I don't think you can choose brown sauce in a McMuffin, can you? Is it gonna be a yolky egg? It is. It is a little bit of a yolky egg. Look at that. This is looking really promising. It's good, don't get me wrong. I like the size of it. The egg is a little bit cold, but the sausages and the muffin itself are warm. The hash brown, it's a frozen hash brown, but it's lovely. I prefer like a really nicely well-seasoned sausage patty, whereas this is a sausage cut in half and put in your muffin. It's still very good, don't get me wrong. It's still tasty and I'm happy to eat it. But I think a McMuffin tops it. Honestly though, I'm really impressed by all of this. The entire meal together cost £10.46, and that's with everything. All of the drinks, all of the fruit, Carolina's toast. Yeah, you know what? Value for money. I've got to give it a 5. Service, lady was really lovely. The guy was really nice as well, brought things over quickly. Give him a 4. Food and taste, I'd say it's nice enough, but it's not my favourite. We'll go for a 3 on the food and taste. I'm hoping the rest of these places today aren't gonna cost me out of house and home. If they can all be like this, I'll be a very happy man. So also included in this breakfast muffin deal, you could get a can of Monster. Now tell me this, why would you have Monster when you could get something like Holy? For those of you who watch the channel regularly will know that I've been talking about Holy for quite some time now. Holy is a much better, cheaper alternative to soft drinks and energy drinks. They're sugar-free, they're low-calorie, and they're packed full of vitamins. You can get a few different varieties. You can get a hydration one, which is great for if you're going for a workout, or you've got an energy one, which is great for staying focused at work, or indeed again, just before a workout. But on top of all of this, Holy have just started doing milkshakes. Now, I've mentioned the Holy milkshakes before in the last video, but these are two brand new flavours, strawberry and caramel. Those of you who follow this channel regularly know that I have a huge sweet tooth, but one thing I don't know if you did know about me is if I see a milkshake on a menu when I'm eating out, I'm gonna get that milkshake. Sadly, where we've just been don't have a milkshake on the menu. Bit of a shame, but that's all right, because I can come home and have one of my holy ones. The brand new flavours, strawberry and caramel, which I've not yet tried, so let's try them. Start with the caramel. It's good. Strawberry next in my lovely glass bottle, which by the way, you can still get when you order the Holy starter set for free, alongside a trial flavour of the strawberry milkshake and the caramel milkshake. Let's try. Oh. Strawberry milkshake's always been my favourite. And this is no different. What's great about these is compared to some of your milkshake competitors, it's got your daily dose of vitamins, they're very low calorie, and there's no added sugars or other junk like that. These are only here for a limited time, so if you wanted to try them yourself, then head on down to Holy. Use my codes below, SamWilder and SamWilder5, to get discounts available on these sets. Guys, Holy have been there with me for a while now. They honestly offer some incredible products. Whether you do drink a lot of soft drinks and you just want that extra bit of energy or hydration, or in fact you do want a bit of a sweet treat, then I cannot recommend trying Holy enough. So a big question I have to ask is, who is Toby and why does he have a Carvery? One that's so cheap. I'm here for lunch, for a Sunday lunch, but not on a Sunday. Toby Carvery is a true British classic. Cheap food, pretty much all you can eat, and it's a roast dinner. And yes, I've already got it, and I have stacked it up as high as I can. We're on a Saturday, so it is £12.99. However, if you're midweek, it's £11.29. And I think it's $15.49 on a Sunday, because, you know, Sunday roasts are very traditional, so they charge you a bit more to have one on a Sunday. But I'm looking forward to this. You go up, you choose your meat. It was looking a little bit bare. I think they're waiting for a restock, but luckily they did kind of top it up as we went. I got a bit of beef and a bit of pork. Carolina got some lamb. How is the lamb? The last bit of lamb. They have mac and cheese as well. I find mac and cheese with a roast dinner a bit odd, but you know, when in Rome. Service is good here. Service is quick. You literally sit down, someone walks right over and says, "You're having the Carvery?" Off you pop, go over your Carvery, go get it. So you get up, you have a little queue. It is very, very, very busy today, but so there's pretty much no waiting time. We ordered our drink, got back, bottle of rosé waiting for me. Can't complain. So I am someone who prides myself on making a roast dinner. I rarely have a roast dinner out in a pub because I know me or my dad or someone like that can make it a lot better. But every so often it's nice to go out and have someone do all the hard work for you. There's a good amount of option actually when it comes to all the different sides you can get, so I suppose we should try each of it. Starting with the beef dripping potatoes. You know what? For roasties, for someone who's not huge on potato, those are really good. We try the carrots. Pretty sure they're just boiled carrots. There's not much special things about them, but they're good. There is, of course, the cauliflower cheese. Again, just okay. But you know what? The gravy on top of it all more than makes up for it. I think it's really good. We have the green beans. They're green beans. I don't know what I need to say. I don't know what I can say. Mac and cheese with gravy. It's mac and cheese with gravy, and it's quite nice. And finally, I love a stuffing. Love a stuffing more than anything. Let's try their stuffing. It could be the worst stuffing in the world, and I think I'd still like it. That's very yummy. We'll try their Yorkshire. I mean, these Yorkshires, that is a mean looking Yorkshire pudding. Dripping gravy. I am looking forward to this. I got beef and pork, but sadly there's not much gravy on top of it because of the Yorkie. Let's try their beef. Beef is alright, could stand with being a little bit rarer, but it's got a nice flavour to it. It's tasty. Try the pork. Feel like the pork's got to have some gravy on it. Roast pork's a little bit dry, but it's still got the flavour and it's still roasted quite nicely. But you know what, genuinely, I'm happy with this. I rarely come to Toby Carvery. I've come more for their breakfast than I have for their roast. I think it's pretty good. For the money you're paying, I think it's pretty good. And while you can't go for more meat, you can go for as much of the extras as you possibly want. You can just keep going up and filling your plate up. Pretty good deal if you ask me. Value for money, I think it depends on how hungry you are, really. Like, $12.99 for a decent sized dinner, that's pretty standard, right? That's pretty okay. But the fact that you can go up for more and more and more does have to give it a little bit of an extra point. So maybe we'll give it a 4. In terms of service, literally as soon as we sat down, someone came over. Sure, we were waiting a little bit in line for food, but by the time we got there, everything had been replenished, it was all fresh, it was all hot, and all pretty good. And our bottle of wine was waiting for us at the table. So obviously standing in line for food, not the best thing in the world, so we'll give that a 4. Quality of food, I have mixed thoughts about the quality of food. It's a roast dinner, and roast dinner is tasty. They do a lot of things right, like the beef dripping potatoes. Some of the veg, I will say, is a bit questionable. So quality of food, I feel we're just going to have to go a 3. Like, it gets the job done, it's tasty, it's not going to be like, you're not going to have this food and be like, oh my god, that's horrible, that's disgusting, I don't like it. It's roasted vegetables and roasted meat. What's not that to like? It's not the most elevated roasted vegetables and roasted meat, but it's still good. Toby's, it's fun, it's fast, it's tasty. I think it's worthy of the score we've given it. Wine, however, as always, amplifies the price. Alcohol's always going to be expensive, right? We're judging the food here, not the alcohol. Then their main menu has so much on it. They've got Yorkshire pudding wraps, they've got an entire roast dinner sandwich. So it made me think, because I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. Should I do a video where I only eat Toby Carvery for a week? If you'd like to see that happen, let me know in the comments below. After the most atrocious parking situation I think I have ever seen, we've reached our final destination for the night, Harvester. I hear a lot going around that Harvester's not as cheap as it used to be. I haven't been here in 15 to 20 years and it used to be really cheap. You get a big free salad bowl, right? And from a bit of research I did, it was still in the top cheapest restaurant chains of the UK. So I'm intrigued. Let's go in, let's find out for ourselves. So a really good experience so far, actually. The service here has been beautiful, impeccable. Everyone's been really, really nice. We've got a really lovely waiter. Lots of different things on the menu here. Of course, going for a beer. £5.60 though. It's not hugely cheap, but I like a beer. I have opted for 4 of the small plates, so it's 4 plates at $16.99, which feels like a relatively good deal, especially because I get things like the nachos and the wings and some of the more expensive small plates on there, which I think is really good. Also, unlimited salad. Price-wise so far, value for money, it might be really good if we see these 4 plates are really, really big, but equally, who knows? I hope it's good, I hope it's tasty. Again, it's been close to 20 years since I've been here last. I love a free salad bar, and it doesn't look like a bad one either. You get your bread. It was looking a bit empty. I think they need to top it up a little bit. We'll try their bread first. It's soft, it's not bad. There's only about 7 or 8 actual options for the salad, but some of them sound really interesting, like this blue cheese slaw. Quite a nice slaw. Then you got like the 5-bean salad. I do love a bean salad. I got some bacon bits on top of it. But then there's a variety of dressings, and I got one called Red Devil, which I'm hoping is spicy. It's not, it's just tomato. I feel like the danger here is you can fill up on a lot of this before your main food comes, which I'm gonna do. Not a bad start, not a bad start at all. Honestly, all these 4 plates, there's quite a lot there for restaurant food. $16.99 for all 4 of these plates, I think is an exceptional deal. Anywhere else, I think you'd be looking at 25, 30, even £35 for 4 plates like this. I've got 6 wings, I've got 5 big donuts, a huge plate of nachos, and loads of this lovely little new cornbread looking thing. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to tuck in. Let's start with the wings, because your boy does love a wing. The wings are good. The wings are good. I mean, yeah, I feel like it's hard to go wrong with the wing. But the hot honey on there is good. They're juicy, they're succulent. I'm happy with them. We're off to a strong start. You're probably going to have to try one of these because they look amazing.
What is that?
It's a cheddar and jalapeno donut. Deep fried donut. Look at that. Let's try. The donut itself, I really like. Really gooey cheese in there, bits of flecks of jalapeno. The sauce that it's with, this like pepper sauce, not as big a fan of. The sauce isn't great. The jalapeno donuts are very good.
Really well with this, by the way.
Hot honey. Carolina's offering me some hot honey to dip it in. Could work very well. Yep, Harvester, this should be paired with the hot honey, not with the pepper sauce. The nachos look great. This is a good portion size. Cheese, sour cream, guacamole, jalapenos, salsa. I mean, there's not loads to say. It's restaurant nachos. They're as good as any restaurant nachos, so I'm happy. And finally, we've got these little cornbreads with a bit of hot honey, some cheese in there, I believe. Go right ahead. I like that a lot. That's my second favourite to the wings. These would work with the ribs. Obviously, we didn't get the Harvester ribs or the famous Harvester half-roast chicken, which interestingly as well, apparently, whichever Harvester you go to, the prices can vary. So apparently in Cardiff, for example, the half-roast chicken is £9.49, whereas here it's £16.49. So I can see why if you're in some, I guess, slightly different areas to the one I'm in, it could be considered a lot cheaper. But I'm still pretty happy with the amount I've got for the price I've paid. Obviously drinks on top and things like that, a little bit more spenny than Wetherspoons. Wetherspoons we saw was what, £3 for one of these punk IPAs, and that's a pint, £5.60 for a can, which is pretty good. We'll finish up, then we'll get dessert. Couldn't not finish with dessert, right? This is just one of their standard sundaes. £6.49, which is okay. Not the best price for a bit of ice cream, but it's okay. But it is soft serve, and I love soft serve. And that is some really nice soft serve. Carolina also got one. She got a warm chocolate brownie. This is nice. I'll give you my little thoughts of Harvester. So service, it's been impeccable. The chap who's been looking after us tonight, really good, attentive, does what he does well. We like him. Service here gets a 5. Quality of food, it does the job. It's not ever going to be the best food in the world, is it? It's a sort of cheap pubby grub kind of thing with lots of variety, but it's still tasty and it still does the job. Sort of middle of the road, we'll give it a 3. And then finally, value for money. It's the most expensive of the places that we've gone today. That's for sure. But it's also the only place that we've had sort of like a full-on dinner, you know? 2 people, it's come to about £60-65 or so altogether, but bear in mind we have had a few alcoholic drinks, so without those, you're probably looking at a lot less. And you got the free salad bar on top of that. Even so, value for money, then we're going to give it about a 3. Nothing's going to be as cheap as Spoons. So all in all, I think we've eaten very, very well today. There's some good places that you can go to that don't cost an absolute bomb. Would I recommend them? You know what, I think I would. If you want something that's tasty, cheap and cheerful, then Spoons, Harvester and Toby's, get yourselves down there.